Okay, welcome back everyone. We'll just wait a couple more minutes. There's still some people trickling in here. While we're waiting, I see there's a lot of facilitators here. That's great. If you are a facilitator and you haven't been made co-host, please make sure you put a star in front of your name so that Tayama can find you. Okay, so I think I'll get started. Yeah, so a lot of people have had a little taste of these dyads in our previous sessions, but there are quite a few people here who are new as well. So I'm going to really review everything tonight. So I think what we're going to do, I'm going to play a little video that specifically talks about doing these dyads on Zoom. Just because there's some special considerations for using Zoom for dyads. And then I'm going to talk about how it's going to go tonight and give some pointers. And for me, this is my favorite technique, or actually my favorite tool for awakening out of every tool that I've encountered on the planet. This method comes from Charles Berner, who discovered it in the late 60s. And it's been used by many different facilitators for decades. It's really got a long history, and it's really, I would say out of any tool, any form of self-inquiry or meditation, probably more people have awakened using this technique than any other technique. I would say vastly more. I've never seen anything that is as useful for this process. So it's my favorite because it actually works. Once again, we're going to be kind of going into a don't know mind in this process. So you may have done dyads before. In psychology world, there's all different forms of dyads, but this one is very different than the type that are used in psychology. The intention is to have a direct experience of your true nature, which it's very different than healing psychophysiological aspects of the self. It's designed to bring about kensho or samadhi, to create that flip from the conditioned self to the true self, or the unlimited self. Yeah, so if you haven't done this before, just forget everything you know, and we'll dive in, and we'll give you all the instructions before we do it. And I think what we're going to do tonight is we'll do this little video, a little teaching, and then we'll do a 30-minute period and just kind of test the waters. I'm going to do a check-in, and then we'll do another 30-minute period tonight. So I'm going to queue up this video right now and share that shortly. Self-inquiry dyads are one of the most expedient ways to bring about kensho, or awakening to your true nature, especially when done in a retreat, which creates conditions of no escape for the egoic mind. Doing self-inquiry dyads via Zoom works really well. I'm going to run through the process and address some of the unique considerations of doing dyads via Zoom so that you have the optimal experience. First, make sure that your camera is set up so that you can look directly into your partner's eyes. When you're in the dyad, it's best that you're paying attention to your partner, looking at their image, not staring at the camera. The meeting automatically begins in speaker view, and because of this, you can see your own video when you're speaking. But you don't want to see yourself when you're speaking, you want to see your partner. So hover over your video and click the ellipses button in your video to display the menu. Then choose Hide Self View. You will no longer see the video of yourself, even though others in the meeting can see the video of you. Depending on the number of participants, sometimes there will be 3 people in the breakout rooms. So instead of a dyad, it will be a triad. In this case, 2 people will be witnesses, while 1 person does the inquiry. Instead of saying, "Tell me who you are," the imperative will be, "Tell us who you are." Please make sure that you are unmuted when you start the dyads, and that your camera is turned on. If you have technical problems or problems with the technique, there's a button to contact the facilitator. Click here to ask the host for help. Once you are split off into dyad groups, please take note of the room number that you are assigned to. Sometimes people will lose their internet connection, and when you enter back into the meeting, you can just tell the tech host the room number, and they will put you back with the same partner. Once you have entered a breakout room, decide who will give the imperative first.
Do you want me to give you the imperative?
Sure, go ahead. The one who gives the imperative will be the witness, and the other partner will do the inquiry. Before giving the imperative, feel your intention to want to know who this being is in front of you. When you say, "Tell me who you are," make it sincere. You really want to know who this being is.
Tell me who you are.
The witness looks directly into the eyes of the inquirer and says, "Tell me who you are." The witness does not nod, make facial responses, or make any sound while witnessing. Do not change the imperative. The imperative is, "Tell me who you are." It is not, "Who are you?" And it is not, "Can you tell me who you are?" If you ask, "Who are you?" or "Can you tell me who you are?" these are questions. The imperative, "Tell me who you are," is not a question, but a command. It is an imperative to authentically communicate as your true self. Understand that this is not a question. Therefore, we're not looking for an answer on the level of the conditioned mind. Tell me who you are is a command. Tell me, convey to me who you are. The person inquiring intends to directly experience their true nature. Directly means not via the mind. When you receive the imperative, get a sense of I amness, of present awareness or beingness, that which has always been present, even when you were a little kid. Intend to directly experience who you are. Another way of saying this is, be still and know. Be still and get a sense of that primordial consciousness that is ever present. When you receive the imperative, you can take a moment. If you want to close your eyes and go inward, that's fine. There's no right or wrong way to do it. Once you have inquired directly, then observe anything that comes up within the self-structure as a result of that inquiry. Just remain open to anything that wants to come up to the surface. Energy, strong sensations in the forehead, in the third eye area. And share it as fully as you can with your partner. Whatever comes up as a result of the inquiry, it may be words or sounds, emotions, laughs, cries, memories, feelings. It's important to be free and not censor or suppress any thoughts, beliefs, emotions, or phenomena. Your inquiry will generally be around 5 to 6 minutes. Sometimes it's less, sometimes longer. Don't worry about the length of time, but at the same time, try not to take up all the time. 40 minutes is too long, and don't try to get off the hook too quickly. 1 or 2 minutes is too short. It's important that the witness remains totally neutral. No facial expressions, no positive or negative feedback. This lack of feedback allows the person doing the inquiry to be totally free. There is a sense that they're being heard, they're being listened to, but not judged in any way. There is neither encouragement, nor is there a reaction or contraction to anything being said. The witness should try their best to understand their partner. If what is being said is not clear, the one thing the witness can say is, "Can you clarify that, please?"
Can you clarify that?
Be especially conscious of words like I, me, my, mine, or myself. Don't use these words unconsciously. Find out, who do these words point to? We often use these words to reinforce identification with the false self, with the character. Instead of saying, "I am angry," or "I am tired," go into it, find out the truth. Is it true that I am angry? Or is it more true to say that anger is arising, to say that the character is angry? Who are you? When you say I, are you referring to the false self? The facilitators will enter your room with their camera off. Simply respond to their prompts, maintaining eye contact with your partner. When you feel that your share is complete, then you can say thank you and give a little namaste with your hands.
Thank you.
If at any point during the inquiry you feel that you are stuck, you can ask yourself, what is the most real thing that is observable in this moment? How is this exercise making me feel? Is there something being held back that wants to be expressed? Most importantly, have fun with it. Be childlike, spontaneous, and free with your sharing. As you are more and more able to convey who you are, you may let go of the burden of trying to do it right, the burden of knowing, just letting the mind be a don't know mind or a beginner's mind. Outside of the actual dyad process, please do not chat with your partner. This is not about having a conversation. This is an exercise designed for you to have a direct experience of your true nature. If you chat or engage in conversation, you are activating the conditioned mind, and you will lose progress. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to really try and convey what is going to happen here and how this is going to unfold. What's going to happen is Tayama is going to put everyone into breakout rooms. So you're going to appear in a room with a partner, hopefully. Sometimes it doesn't always go completely smoothly. So if it doesn't, give the tech hosts a couple minutes. What happens is Zoom distributes everyone, hopefully in twos, but sometimes it puts people in random places. So the tech hosts are going to take a couple minutes as soon as we do that to put you in a room with a partner if you're not with a partner already. So just give them a couple minutes before you raise your hand at the beginning. And if you still don't have a partner after 2 minutes, then just raise your hand and we'll get you sorted out. So you're going to appear in a room with your partner, and like the video said, you'll determine who's going to go first, who will give the imperative first. So the one who gives the imperative is the witness. So you'll just decide with your partner. So you'll say, okay, you give the imperative, and then the person who's giving the imperative really takes a moment to connect with their intention, to really want to know who this being is across from them or on the screen. So make it sincere, because your intention to know another is really one and the same with knowing yourself. The revelation or the realization is the one consciousness. So it doesn't matter which side you're on in this. And when you give the imperative, it's really important that the witness is completely neutral. This is probably the most crucial thing, and it's very difficult for some people to be completely neutral. So you don't want to be nodding or reacting to your partner in any way. You want to be just looking directly into their eyes and no reaction. And the reason for this is that all of these samskaras and conditioned patterns that have been pushed into the unconscious, when we're very small, when we're children, we learn to operate in a way that's pleasing for others. So we suppress our natural way of being, and we very quickly, as little kids, we start to recognize what's pleasing to other people, and then we do more of that, or we recognize when someone's reacting to us, and then we shut down our naturalness, we shut down our behavior. So when we're communicating, if there's any evaluation happening from the witness, then it will affect a person's sharing. They won't be able to be free in their sharing if they're being evaluated. And the evaluation can be very subtle, just a little nodding or just a little contraction when someone says something. That's enough to shut down someone's process. So please be very careful not to react, to maintain that neutral witness. And there may be emotional unfoldings, especially as we go deeper into the retreat. You may be witnessing your partner going through emotions. Anything can come up. So it's very important just to hold that space, no matter what happens. If at any time you run into problems with the technique, or things just aren't working, as the video said, there is a little raise hand button at the problem. If you're at the bottom of the screen, if you have any problem, just raise hand, and one of the facilitators will jump in. So the witness gives the imperative, tell me who you are. And the witness will not be saying anything. The only thing the witness can say is, if you don't fully understand what your partner is communicating. Like there's something they're trying to convey and it just doesn't make sense to you, or it just maybe you missed it. You can say, "Can you clarify that, please? Can you clarify that, please?" And that's it. And so you really want to be paying attention, because by paying attention, it completes the communication cycle. If you're a witness and you're just kind of zoning out or going into meditation, that's sort of bypassing what's being said, that communication process isn't completed. So you really want to hear what's being said and understand it. So so the person who receives the imperative, the inquirer, your partner's going to say, "Tell me who you are," looking directly into your eyes. And you want to, the first part of this technique is to directly experience who you are. So you intend to directly experience your true nature when you receive that imperative. And so what that means is, when I say direct, I mean really directly, not via the mind. So the mind, when we hear it, you have to intend to directly experience who you are. The mind will go, "Okay, how do I do that?" But the mind doesn't do it. It's direct. So it's just a recognition in that moment of the awareness that is ever present. So awareness is always here. So we just intend to directly experience our true nature, who you are. And you could say, one of the examples I often use is getting a sense of just beingness or I amness. And if you look at your life, as a little kid, there's this sense that I am, that there's this beingness. When I'm a little kid, I'm looking out of the child's eyes. When I was growing up, all through every stage of life, there was this sense that I am. And right now in this moment, there's this beingness here. Even though all the phenomena within my character, within my avatar, it's changed throughout life, but there's one thing that doesn't change, is that I amness or beingness, and it will always be there. So we want to intend to directly experience that, directly experience the truth of who and what we are. So that's the first part. So the direct intent to directly experience is the first part. And then we just observe what comes up within the self structure as a result of that inquiry. What moves in the mind and body when I intend to directly experience. I talked a little bit earlier about when we intend to awaken, it stirs things up within the conditioned self. All the unconscious material starts to come up from the depths. So anything can come up. So, thoughts, feelings, memories, old experiences. It's surprising what can come up. There's absolutely anything. It could be, old stories, old, or just anything. We can't predict it. So it's it's actually a very easy thing to do. We want to report this, whatever comes up, to our partner and convey it fully. Really get your partner to understand what is coming up in the mind and body as a result of this inquiry, and don't censor it, don't limit it. Just whatever it is, just convey it fully. And then So you're sharing, as it said in the video, the sharing, it's usually roughly around 5 minutes. So you don't, there's no timer. So you'll feel when you've had a complete share. You just, you'll observe what's come up in the mind and body. You'll share it, explore it a little bit as you share it, and then at a certain point you'll feel complete, like you've done the inquiry, and then you just say thank you, and then you'll switch roles. So if you're the inquirer, then you become the witness, and you say to your partner, tell me who you are. And then you just go back and forth for the entire dyad period. So usually the dyad periods are 40 minutes, but tonight this first one's going to be 30, and I'm just going to do a little check-in, which I don't usually do, but because there's some new people here, I just want to make sure that everyone's getting the technique correctly. So you want to stay connected with your partner's eyes in this process. So please make sure your camera is set up so that your partner can see your eyes. When you receive the imperative, you can go inward when you intend to directly experience who you are. Some people stay connected with their partner, but other people feel they just want to go inward and really, inwardly investigate, and that's fine. You can take time to directly experience. If your partner gives you the imperative and says, tell me who you are, and you respond right away, that means you're not doing that direct inquiry. You want to take time to directly inquire into who you are. So if you go inward, then you inquire, and then you observe what comes up within the mind and body. And when you go to share it again with your partner, make sure you reconnect with their eyes again. So you don't want to just start talking with your eyes closed. You want to reconnect with your partner's eyes. And yeah, so when you're complete, you just say thank you, and we will have different facilitators, just sort of observing. So the facilitators are going to be sort of in the background. So you might see there's another little square on your screen. That just means there's a facilitator in the background, and if they need to, if the technique isn't being observed correctly, or there's some little pointer they can give, they'll just unmute themselves, and just give you the instructions. So they're trained to do that, and you don't need to interact with them or see them. They're just sort of in the background, and I'll be one of those facilitators tonight as well. So yeah, I think that is about it. So I'll just reinforce a couple things that were said in the video. So we want to pay special attention to words like I, me, and mine. So we tend to use these words very unconsciously, and we use I all the time. I'm happy, I'm feeling this. So really investigate, who is that I? What does that I refer to? Is that really you? Or is that the conditioned character? Is that the, are you referring to the body? Are you referring to the avatar, the character? And really go into it. Explore when we use those words, because these words like I, me, and mine, they really unconsciously bind us to the false self. So it's a great way to unravel it, catch it when you say the word I, and explore it. And we're not going to be the facilitators later in the retreat will be doing more pointing, catching the use of I and me and mine. But tonight we're not going to be doing that. So it's up to you tonight to explore that yourself. So also we don't want to refer, since you're going back and forth as the witness and the inquirer, you don't ever want to refer to your partner as you or to anything that they've said in their dyad. So it's not a conversation. So if your partner might say something that really resonates with you or something that feel you want to respond to, but don't do that. Just don't refer to your partner. Stay in your own process. We don't want this to turn into a conversation, because usually, even if it's well intentioned, there can be some element of evaluation or a critique that starts to happen, and so we want to just stay in our own process. Some of you might know the teacher Ramana Maharshi, who is probably the greatest self-inquiry teacher who has lived in the last century. Ramana Maharshi was really famous for just really giving the instruction to inquire directly into your true nature, to turn continuously towards the self. And what he said, which is exactly what we're doing here. He said, when you inquire into your true nature, at first, what you'll see is always the false self. You'll always see the operation of the false I. And then, what we're doing in this practice is it's a clearing process. And so we clear that false identification. We clear these mind patterns, these energetic knots within our self structure. And so when you do that inquiry, don't worry that it has to be right somehow, that you have to get it instantly. There is this ongoing clearing process. This is a process. So this is the first night, and let's dive in. I'll maybe see if is there any question first of all, that's something that's not clear. Maria. Can you?
Hi, Dan. I was just wondering, if we have a triad and we're the one doing the inquiry, which one do we look at directly in the eyes, or do we rotate our eyes?
It doesn't matter. You can look at one or the other, switch back and forth, or you could just sort of have a diffuse look at both of them. Whatever feels most appropriate. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Okay, so Tayama, how are we?
I
How are you?
I am ready. If you
You're
guys
ready?
are ready, so please remember your room number, have some fun, and here we go.